Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. Now, we did finish the season. We actually won the Premier League. We're on 87 points. The closest to us, I believe, is Manchester City on 81 points. So overall, the league table is very much in my favor, and the rest of the games really didn't mean that much to me. That's why you're checking out the simulation. Coutinho there managed to score in the 3rd minute, though, bringing it to 1-0, and that was looking pretty good. It really didn't matter to me the rest of the scores throughout the rest of the Premier League. Barini there does miss a penalty, though, to make it 2-0, which is a little bit disappointing, but like I said, the results and things like that just didn't matter after that. And as you can tell, I decided to play Barini, Yezel as well, and I also had Massi, Coates, you know, those sort of players in the starting 11, just because to me it really didn't matter the results of the rest of the games, and I had the opportunity to play players that I wouldn't usually play. And there it is, Manchester United end up winning the EuroLeague, and that is probably one of the rarest times that you will see Manchester United not being in the Champions League. But like I said, since they weren't in the Champions League, they did do well to go on and win the EuroLeague, which is something that they won't have to do next season, and because they are going to be in the Champions League, which is good for them. You know, they're back in it. Sorry, that was Chelsea that were just behind me. Manchester City in 3rd place, and then Spurs in 5th. Arsenal way down. I think that was 8th place for them, so I'm sure they won't be too pleased with that, and I expect next season them to try and push for the Champions League place that they think they'll rightfully deserve. But let's take a look. We had a game against Fulham, and I was like, screw this, we're just going to skip and see what happens, and I ended up winning 4-0. Coates there getting a goal with both strikers, and Jovetic, who came on as well, managed to get a goal, which is all fine and dandy. Really happy with that, how that went, but unfortunately we did have a player that was suspended, but like I said, not too big of a deal. And you know, the tournament prize money, we got some extra cash to spend, which is all good to see. Walker there was actually given the red card. A little bit disappointed with that, but like I said, it didn't matter too much. We're currently sitting on 93 points. Chelsea are going to be coming in 2nd, Manchester City in 3rd, Manchester United in 4th, Spurs in 5th. So a pretty, you know, sort of steady top 5, but like I said, I know last season Manchester United will be very disappointed with how they played in the league table, so now they managed to bring that up to get them into a 4th place spot, which secures some Champions League football. Real Madrid actually won the Champions League this time round, which was pretty impressive. A team like that, though, I kind of expect them to go on and win things like that. Daniel Agger accepted my contract extension, sorry. I believe I upped his wage to around 80,000 a week, and he is absolutely worth that for me. He is literally been the backbone of the team. Him and Ogbonna have been literally like a set of rocks at the back, which has been so important. Now, I'm not entirely sold on Sama over here. He's another centre-back. I'm not entirely sure whether I want to pay. I think he was asking for around 10,000 a week. I just don't, you know enough about him. I don't play him enough for me to warrant paying 10,000 a week for him. So for that reason, I didn't go ahead and offer what he was demanding, but it would be interesting to see, you know, what he gets back to me with. But now we do have the World Cup. Now, this for me is a really, really big event, and I'm excited to show you guys some of the gameplay from this. I do actually, you know, I play the games. A lot of the times I will just simulate them if they're international friendlies, or, you know, even qualifiers that just don't mean that much, because I was confident in the qualifying stages that we would actually make it into the World Cup. But I did say, you know, during the World Cup I will play the games, and that's exactly what you guys are seeing now. And I did a game against Austria. Now, Austria have a few really good players. They have Alaba there, who is a left back. He plays for Bayern Munich usually. They also have one of my favorite players in this game called Arnautovic. Arnautovic is just immense. He's got 4-star skills. He has got the shot of a god, literally. The pace of the shooting that he possesses is just unreal. So you don't want to be on the other end of one of those shots. But besides that, they were actually playing really, really well. Ivanishitz, or however he wants his name to be pronounced, actually ends up getting the first goal, and it was a bit of a dirty tramp, but we all know this season I have been filled with those. You know, I've been producing dirty tramps left, right, and center, but sometimes those sort of things just have to be done. But it was 1-1, and I honestly thought I'd been playing pretty good. One of the things I actually found that when I was playing these international games is that the pace of the game seems a lot slower than usual. I'm not entirely sure why. Some really poor defending on my part, but I couldn't believe if he missed an open goal there. I mean, that is so simple. It was literally just straight wide open for him, and he completely fucked it up and messed it around. So unfortunately, they weren't able to go ahead then, but it didn't take long for them to cut one back in, and there were some unlucky bounces that didn't go their way, but they were playing really, really well, much better than I actually expected. I wasn't able to hold on to possession for any longer than, you know, a few passes, which was driving me really crazy. And I don't know about you guys, but when I start to get frustrated on FIFA, I just start playing really, really bad and start doing stupid and silly things, and that was very much the case with this game. It was driving me just up the bend, how I just could not keep the ball and get into their box, and they were playing very, very well. I do actually get one shot off there, and it actually comes off the post, which I feel was a little bit unlucky. And again, they're off the post, but that time it was me that got lucky. So I suppose that levels out. A really nice headed back straight towards the player, and we were actually lucky not to concede there. So to be honest with you, I was lucky that I wasn't, you know, 3-1 down or anything. I do believe that I actually had a couple chances where I could have scored, but like I said, I was lucky I wasn't that far down. One of the things about free kicks, as you guys may or may not know, is that Guarin dominates at them. And I'm sorry, but that Austrian goalkeeper there was literally Spider-Man, but on steroids. That save there was just immense. Guarin, for me, is so good at free kicks. He's great from any sort of position. He's got a crazy shot power on him, so he's great at those sort of free kicks. A really decent save from my keeper, but he kind of palms it into the attacker's running sort of route that he had going on. But unfortunately, we were 2-1 down, and we needed something to happen. I mean, the first game of the World Cup, I did not want to end up being a loss, especially after going 1-0 up. I had to do something to save it. Unfortunately, I did have the likes of Falcao, who makes a great run and a beautiful finish, as I thought I was going to miss that because it got really underneath his feet, and sometimes those sort of positions when they have the ball, they can't seem to produce anything from it. But fortunately for me, that was very much the case, as we managed to actually end up making it 2-2, and although it's not a win, it is our first game in the World Cup, so hopefully we can play better. Next up, I have Italy, guys, and you guys have to wait till next episode to check out how all that goes. But until then, guys, I'll see you all in a little bit. Bye-bye.